Writing a compelling resume can often be challenging, but by avoiding these 4 mistakes, it will make resume writing a lot easier and help you land that next job. As a current marketer working as a web and digital specialist and about to graduate with my master's in communication management, I've had my fair shares of ups and downs and success and failures, and so I really want to share all my tips and tricks with you to set you up for success. Now, the first resume mistake is using the wrong template. A lot of people tend to use one of those very fancy templates that you can often find in Canva. I am someone who's definitely made that mistake where I had this really pink and all decked out resume, and I thought it looked amazing, and it did, but it's not going to help me when I get a job. Because a lot of employers use the ATS system, which is an applicant tracking system. So how the ATS system works is it reads your resume from left to right, top to bottom. When you have one of those very fancy templates where, for example, you have, let's say on your left side, you have like your name and you have all your information, and on the right side, you have all of your work experience and all of your academics. Well, when it reads into the ATS system, it's going to go again left to right. It's just going to be jumbled up information. That's not going to make any sense to an employer once the ATS system sends them the text information. I had to realize this the hard way by not getting any jobs, and I was so confused because I would be like, I know that I can do this job, I have the skills, why am I not getting any interviews? And it's because the ATS system is just showing the employers a jumbled up mess of a text because they can't read it. So I would highly recommend just doing a very basic formatting. I often like to go on Indeed.com. This isn't sponsored, I just really like Indeed. I really love their basic templates. They have a lot of different templates. And yes, it looks boring, but the ATS system will be able to read it and be able to give it back to the employer where it's readable. And again, another thing I would suggest too is to make sure you have keywords that I mentioned this in my last video. Use keywords that are going to be on the job application because, again, the ATS system is going to pull up those keywords that's going to be like, okay, this person can do this job, and so I'm going to send this resume to the employer. So that's my number one suggestion to start out with. Now, the second mistake is not listing out your work experiences as results driven. Employers, they're going to infer what you've done in the past. They don't want you to tell them what you've done. They want you to show them what you've done. And one of my suggestions is to use the STAR method. So STAR method, it's an effective way to create a narrative of a situation or a situation at your job. So the S stands for situation. So first, describe a situation. T is task, so describe a task that you've done. The A is for action, so describe the action that has been taken out. And R is for result. That is to describe the result that was taken. So here's an incorrect way that doesn't use the STAR method. So here's a bullet point. Manage a team of 10 people and oversaw operations. It has a situation, so it has the S. It has the action, like they managed a team, but there's no task or results. It just says you manage a team. That's it. Like that's just telling the employers what you did. It's not telling you how you managed and how you made impactful results. So the correct way using the STAR method would be manage a team of 10 people and delegated tasks amongst employees to increase productivity by 20%. That is using the STAR method. You are telling the results, you increase productivity by 20%. How? Well, you delegated. That is using the STAR method, and that is what I would highly recommend you practicing and you putting on your resume, because once I did this, it really helped me get more interviews and help me with jobs in the future. The third mistake is to avoid is listing all of your accomplishments. Employers, they don't have time to read 2 pages worth of resume. They get thousands of resumes every day, and so they want just a snapshot of who you are, what you've done. They don't want to know what you did in high school, college. They just want to know what's most relevant to the job you're applying for. So I would recommend using the waterfall effect. So I would say put your most current job or your job now, old job, and the oldest job after that. And I would recommend maybe doing a minimum of 3 to 4 bullet points, that again using the STAR method, because you don't want to clutter, and you don't want, again, to have all this information that the employer is not going to see and they're not going to be able to read. So that's what I would highly recommend when you're listing all of your accomplishments. Now, the last mistake to avoid is using jargon. Every job you're going to have is going to have their own terms for things, their own jargon in the job. You manage a team of 10 people and we cycle count it and use this certain system, blah, blah, blah. Other employers are not going to know what that means, and they're not going to understand the resume. They're just going to throw it out because you didn't explain what you did. They don't understand. So I would highly recommend just making your text just very straightforward, make it a universal information. I would definitely recommend not exceeding 2 lines for each bullet point, because again, it's just gonna make the resume too long and employers don't have that much time. So just make sure you do the keywords that will pop out to the employer, and it will make it a lot easier for you and a lot easier for the employer. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment down below any other tips you have for resume. I am always looking for tips to help increase my resume writing. And then if you want to see any other videos in the future, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.